Live in Western Oregon, this is NBC 16 Today.
Good morning and welcome to NBC 16 Today. I'm Lily Taylor. But before we get to our top stories of the morning, let's check in with weather with Brianna Chavez.
Heading into the start of the weekend, we really start to see a little bit of a change. Throughout yesterday afternoon into the evening hours, the increasing clouds, starting to see those showers and picking up. And for some areas throughout early this morning, well, you could stay rather dry. I'm talking about Douglas County as a whole, but what we're starting to see is a little bit of some change when it comes to air quality. Throughout the Willamette Valley, we have been hanging on tight to moderate air concerns as the wind speeds have been next to non-existent. And then we mix in some stagnant air, that patchy fog, all really making for some reduced air quality across the board. I mean, moderate concerns still trending into Douglas County. If not, at times we were managing to see some unhealthy conditions. Through the remainder of the day, we increase that cloud coverage, see the potential for more steady rainfall, if not a heavier drizzle at times through the early morning hours into the afternoon. We start to see a little bit of a break before that next round of wet weather picks right back up heading into the weekend.
Thank you, Bree. We now take you live to our live shot buddy who is showing us what traffic is looking like this morning. Currently, we're starting off our traffic coverage this morning in North Eugene. We're driving southbound on Interstate 5 from the Beltline exit down through Highway 105 to 126 overpasses. Now it's been raining this morning, so there are some wet road surfaces as well, raining overnight. And as it usually happens, you know, when those roads are slick, accidents do happen. And there was 2 in the last hour, but both appear to be resolved at this time. So at this time, there shouldn't be anything to slow you down, but definitely want to use some caution as we haven't had rainfall in the morning hours in quite some time. So give yourself a few extra minutes to take that morning commute extra slow. Thank you, LSB.
I'm running for governor again because Oregon values are on the line.
Governor Tina Kotek says she's ready for round 2, announcing her re-election bid. In her announcement, she directly pitted herself against the federal government. Kotek asking Oregonians if they want a governor who will stand up for the state or a governor who will let President Trump do what he wants. She cited recent issues like the National Guard in Portland and pausing SNAP benefits. Vasily Varlamos from our Portland sister station takes a look at the successes and challenges facing the election.
With everything going on, we still have to keep building on the progress we've made to make sure people can afford to call Oregon home.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek's re-election bid focuses on continuing what she says is progress on her core values: housing availability, education results, and protecting rights to health care. Nearly 3 years into her term, she's touting progress in those areas. But one area lagging behind: Oregon's economy. According to Oregon Business and Industry, Oregon's unemployment rate rose to 5% this year. As the state loses thousands of private sector jobs, the state's economic growth is behind the national average as officials forecast sluggish job growth through 2026. CNBC ranks Oregon 39th in the nation for its business climate.
If we're not intentional about growing our state, we're just going to be left behind.
On Tuesday, Governor Kotek unveiled her economic prosperity roadmap, looking to speed up growth, create more living wage jobs, and help businesses expand and relocate here. The plan calls for faster permitting, modernized incentives, new investments, and a chief prosperity officer to oversee the work. Former Oregon House Republican leader and 2026 gubernatorial candidate Christine Drazen says Kotek's roadmap is, quote, more bureaucracy and spin. Kotek and Drazen faced off in the last gubernatorial election. Drazen argues the governor's policies have driven Oregon's economy into decline, and her plan relies on more panels, meetings, and more planning to plan.
When I talk about the chief prosperity officer, I view that as my job. Businesses that can choose where they want to grow are choosing a better economic environment and a better political environment than what they're seeing here.
Now, with the news of Kotek's re-election bid, we spoke to residents around Lane County to see how they feel about a second term for Governor Kotek. Take a listen.
I see quite a few low-income housing going on here in Eugene. I don't know about the rest of the state because I don't spend a lot of time there. So, anyways, yeah, I think she's doing a good job.
Well, the homeless, I don't see the situation getting any better, and it's been getting worse in Cottage Grove. And that's the way I feel about it. If they think Kotek's doing a good job, that's That's good. But in my opinion, no, she hasn't.
Keep Oregon a safe place where it usually always is, and she tries to do that.
Keep it a sanctuary state.
I think that it's time for a change. I think that she's been in power long enough, and then her friend before her, they screwed it up. Obviously, they're not doing the right things. I think we need a Republican in office. Let's try it different.
Now to a crime alert this morning. A man is in custody following an incident involving a firearm in Roseburg. Roseburg police were called to a disturbance Thursday afternoon before 3 involving a gunshot in the 1000 block of Northeast Stephens. A deputy from Douglas County Sheriff's Office arrived at the scene. The deputy confronted 30-year-old Chandler Scott Corwin Miller with the contact leading to a deputy-involved shooting. No one was hurt in the incident, and Corwin was arrested on gun-related charges. Corwin was taken to Douglas County Corrections. And a man is in jail after Eugene police say they found a pipe bomb inside his vehicle. Eugene police arrested 43-year-old Melvin David Bennett Wednesday night. Officers went to an apartment on Willackenzie Road to arrest Bennett, who was wanted after allegedly fleeing a traffic stop earlier in the day. Police say they found Bennett sitting in a vehicle outside the residence, saying they found a pipe bomb in that vehicle. Bennett was booked on 2 warrants along with new charges of eluding and unlawful possession of a destructive device. In Springfield this week, residents and surrounding community members of different ages and backgrounds urged city officials to call a state of emergency over ICE activity in Springfield, showing up at a city council to speak out over their fears. Relatives of people of color accused ICE of picking up and deporting people in the area without due process. They pleaded with the city to take a stronger stand against immigration enforcement, including preventing racial profiling, providing public alerts on ICE activity, and ruling out surveillance through flock cameras.
I've got friends, I've got neighbors, I've got family members who are immigrants to this country. And I know that personally I'm probably safe for now, but I'm terrified for everyone else that I know. We heard a lot from the council that there's a lot that they cannot do, but what I would have liked to hear is a list of things that they could do or that they'd be willing to do.
During the meeting, Mayor Sean Van Gordon told attendees the city follows the state's sanctuary laws, which he called some of the toughest in the country. The laws prevent local law enforcement agencies from helping federal immigration officials with enforcement. Other city leaders empathize, but made no promises.
Nobody that lives in Springfield or in the United States for that matter should fear a loved one not coming home at night.
I learned I'm a member of the privileged white. I'm embarrassed to hear that. I don't feel that way. I empathize with everybody in this room, and I feel the same way you do. And if my white privilege gives me a little bit of power, I will use it to help support you.
As you said, we're looking to you upon here on this dais because you have the power. You all are the ones who have the power. I am one voice. And being on a council means that we have to move this entire council when we get to decisions.
Springfield's assistant city manager agreed to speak with us later today about possible actions the city could take to beef up its efforts against ICE enforcement. That's after city council leaders have the chance to review the city lawyers' input on community demands. Meanwhile, Oregon Senator Ron Wyden says the U.S. Coast Guard has returned its rescue helicopter to Newport and is promising to keep it there. The helicopter was relocated to North Bend in October, and what the community believed was a plan to build an ICE detention center at the Newport airport. Last month, Lincoln County and the Newport fishermen's wives sued the Department of Homeland Security and the Coast Guard to get it back, citing safety concerns during crabbing season. A judge granted a temporary restraining order last week requiring its return. That order was due to expire on December 8th. The Lane County Community College Board of Education voted Wednesday night to push the final decision on a proposed $16.5 million budget cut to January. The board says the reason for the push is to allow the board additional time to review the plan since it was presented to them 48 hours before the meeting.
think the main reason for that decision by the board was to have additional time to look over the numbers, look over the budget, look over the forecast numbers, and to be able to make the best possible decision with the information available.
The board members voted against delaying the budgetary decision.
So I just want to say I'm just extremely concerned about the future of this institution if the majority will continue to keep kicking things down the road because it serves a particular narrative.
The final vote is expected to be held on the board's meeting January 7th.